Give him the forecast.
Omega level threat detected.
Ancient sands, heed my command and reclaim these relics of hatred!
Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. If you haven't had a chance to do so by now, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And to go a step further, I humbly ask that you tap that notification bell. That way you'll be updated each and every time I'm uploading something new. Also, make sure you're following me on Instagram at YB Speaks, as well as my TikTok page at YB Speaks. All right. So I have to make an update. I have to make a correction. Hello, God. So remember I reported on what at the time what I thought was Ava Combs speaking out against Diddy and his filth. Well, that was not Ava Combs. I do ask that you guys forgive me. I am not a journalist. I am not a reporter like that. I am a commentator. Hello, God. That based on information that I thought was credible, that I thought that was I verified. Now, I didn't go to the depths of despair, child, to verify the validity of the information, but we're here now to correct it. Again, that was not Ava Combs. The audio that I shared was not Ava Combs. Ava Combs, as of now, from my understanding, has not come forward in any capacity to make any allegations or any formal or informal complaints against P. Diddy himself. Okay? Again, I ask that you bear with us commentators. Again, we are not journalists. We are not reporters. We work with a lot of information that's floating around the social media streets. And again, the audio came from what I thought at the time was Ava Combs' TikTok account. Apparently, that's probably not her account. One thing I want to correct is that Ava Combs actually was not legally adopted by P. Diddy. Okay? I think if she is really going by Ava Combs, it's probably by choice. The prestige, well, now the downfall that comes with the name. But again, homegirl, as far as I know, has not came out herself to speak out. All right. For the girls out there spreading misinformation that are creating these accounts in these people's names, and other people that are well-known content creators and commentators, especially in the TikTok space, I put a lot of blame on y'all, but then now that I think about it, I have to also take responsibility. But again, I'm not a journalist. I commentate based on the things that, you know, run across my desk, child. I do a little bit of research, you know, and then I go from there. So I take responsibility, but I think there's a lot of these girls out here, you know, the big girls with millions of, you know, subscribers and y'all are verified commentators now, girl. So I'm gonna need y'all to also do your due diligence to make sure you're not spreading misinformation. Because, you know, other commentators might come, you know, you might be our source. I'm just saying, though, but I wanted to correct this and update this with the person this story actually belongs to. I want to show respect, okay? So singer Niykee Heaton, forgive me if I messed up your name, baby. Niykeeheaton. Niykee Heaton. Apparently she's a singer, and this story was published by XXL Child, and it was published on June 13th, 2024. Very recent. Very recent. Basically, the article states that on June 8th, Niykee Heaton conducted an Instagram live session, which was the audio that we thought was Ava Combs. They took the audio, they took a piece of her audio from her Instagram live and put it on an Ava Combs TikTok page, girl. But yeah, on June 8th, Niykee Heaton conducted an Instagram live session that has since been circulating online where she makes allegations against Kanye and Diddy. Heaton started off the video by saying that following the breakout success of her song Bad Intentions with Migos and OG Parker back in 2014, Kanye reached out to her and invited her to a studio session to work on music. She claimed she arrived at the studio and that Diddy and Kanye were there together. The singer said they appeared off their shit on alcohol and potentially drugs and claimed they pressured her to have a drink, but she didn't take it. While 9 other girls were also present in the studio, they allegedly ended up leaving to go to the bathroom and Heaton didn't see them again. Heaton then said she was alone with Kanye, Puff, an executive who works with Kanye, Kanye's engineer, and Kanye's own cousin. Kanye and Puff then allegedly began pressuring Heaton to take her clothes off because of how hot it was in the studio. They were like, come on, it's just us. We're all just friends. Let's just see how you look, Heaton recalled at the 18-minute mark in her Instagram live video. I still haven't gotten scared yet. I'm like, this is a bad situation. I'm creeped out, but there's no reason to panic because there are other men here. Girl, please. You thought. Okay. Heaton then says things start to escalate as they start grabbing at her shirt. She claimed she was backed up against the exit door and that at one point she mouthed help to Kanye's executive while her shirt was being torn off. This is the part that for as long as I live, I'll never fucking forget, Heaton said. It isn't actually the aspect of being sexually assaulted. That's not what haunts me. It's as these 2 grown men were pawing at me trying to take my clothes off. I look over to this man asking for help and I literally mouth the word help and we lock eyes and he looks away. She adds that she then looked to Kanye's engineer and cousin for assistance and that they also looked away from her. Heaton then alleged that Kanye and Diddy tore her shirt off and that they were trying to rip off her pants. She claimed she lunged at them, catching them off balance, and was able to open the exit door and run and hide in a darkened studio. I sat there for like 20-25 minutes, just like crying, like what the fuck do I do, Heaton says. She concluded by saying she ended up leaving along with another girl who had been allegedly drugged by Kanye and Diddy. She implied that the other girl she was with may have been assaulted. The moral of the fucking story, Heaton said, stay out of the industry. If you have daughters, make sure to tell them that they're idols. They should never meet and never go to the fucking studio with anyone, even if you're invited there as an artist, unless you have a bodyguard with you. Double XL reached out to Kanye and Diddy's teams for further comment. You know they didn't, girl. And as we know, Heaton's allegations come as Diddy is currently embroiled, honey, in numerous sexual abuse lawsuits. Kanye is also being accused of sexually harassing his former assistant, Lauren Pisciotti, excuse me if I messed that up, in a lawsuit earlier this month. The disturbing allegations include that Kanye regularly asked his former assistant for sexual favors and that at one point she was even trapped in a room with Kanye while he pleasured himself. Kanye and Diddy have both denied any wrongdoing. Nonetheless, I stand by my commentary. Okay? And again, for the people out there spreading misinformation, and even if once you realize that it's wrong information, I think it's only right that you come back, hello God, and apologize, correct, address the situation, and if there is any credence, you know, because we put this on Ava Combs, girl, okay? We needed to give this story justice by giving it to the right person it belonged to. But I'm over that. I want to continue. I was watching Chronicle Speaks. Shout out to Chronicle Speaks, honey. When I tell you that she's going to serve actual factuals, hello God, receipts will be receipting, evidence will be evidencing, okay? And I was watching a video she posted today. Apparently there's this law firm that has like all of these victims that have come forward, child, verified, corroborated. over 3,000 people have come forward. They've only been able to, verify and corroborate, a couple hundred or so, but that process is still ongoing. They're going back to the earlier parts of his career. Most of the complaints that are coming forward now with this particular law firm, girl, at the time the alleged assaults were taking place against these people, you have the youngest age 9, 14, 15, young ass minors, girl, at the time of their assault. Again, allegedly. And I think this is the first time we've actually heard that minors might have actually been involved as it relates to P. Diddy and his filth ring. So sad. My thoughts and prayers go out to all of the victims that may have been affected by this situation. I want people to understand that you still need to come forward, because we're out here laying Diddy out in the streets of life, which I'm all here for. Let's do our thing. But Kanye West, girl, all the other people we keep having, every time we talk about P. Diddy and his filth, we have to talk about the people that were also enabling the filth, who helped plan the filth, involved in the filth on every single level possible. We need to start making examples out of these people so that this will scare the living shit out of anyone else who may be currently doing this, thinking about doing this. Maybe by seeing the consequences, the live burning at the stake, hello God, this will show all the other witches. That's what Salem was trying to do, girl, even though most of the people they burnt, actually all the people they burnt weren't actually witches. But anyway, this will be an example for the rest of the filth out there. If you partake, if you associate, if you involve yourself in this kind of nasty, nasty, nasty behavior, you will regret it. Moving on, thoughts and prayers to everyone that has been affected by Hurricane Helene. As a natural born and raised Floridian, it's very rare we actually see the full destruction and chaos of hurricanes. It's been a very long time since we've actually felt that sting, right? And I know a lot of people look at us and they make memes and jokes about Floridians, how we just are not bothered by hurricanes like that. That's just on the joking side of it all. On the real serious side, we have about more than 100 people have been confirmed to have lost their lives due to Hurricane Helene's, chaotic spree that she went on, girl. And even more people are reportedly missing right now. When I looked at the footage, especially what's going on in North Carolina, some eastern parts of Tennessee and Georgia, I just think to myself, when you see the devastation, it's the same thing I talk about with Texas and even Georgia sometimes. Y'all need to really hold your city, county, state leaders accountable. We need financial audits done on the departments that are in charge of infrastructure. I'm going to be completely honest with you. The fact that it's 2024 going into 2025, knowing the chaos, the unpredictability sometimes of these weather phenomenon that can get extremely dangerous as we see, I'm just wondering why flooding is still an issue. I'm trying to still wonder why power outages are still an issue. I'm still trying to wonder why people are losing their lives in a category 1 or a heavy ass tropical storm. Why? Why should you be worried about alligators swimming on your main streets? Why should you have to worry about your cars and your homes being swept away by water with a category 1 in a heavy tropical storm? There needs to be an investigation done. There needs to be a financial audit. That y'all need to peel back the layers, girl, of whatever department that is in charge of your infrastructure. It's going to be really your city and your states, because the states provide the budget for the city. Okay, there needs to be a call to action, because the fact that there should be no reason Georgia should have been underwater, Tennessee, North Carolina, there should be no reason, girl. Now they're saying North Carolina, a lot of their shit is blocked off. They have no contact with the outside world. What? What are you talking? What in The Walking Dead is going on here? It's 2024. Yeah, we need to get it together. And I think that people need to, the misinformation too, like the TikTok weather forecast people, girl, if you're not a meteorologist working for the news station, you need to shut the fuck up. And I think a lot of people need to start really taking a look at global warming, climate change. I know y'all tired of hearing that, but when you see these hurricanes the way they have been in the past, 10 years, it's getting more chaotic, very random. They're just appearing and they're going in the path that you really, what? When did they start forming in the Gulf like that? They usually come from the East Atlantic, girl, and follow a certain path. Now they're just appearing any and everywhere. So I think, put your thinking caps on. Global warming, climate change is definitely a reason for why we're seeing a little bit more, chaotic storms, chaotic weather phenomenon, following paths and trajectories that we've never really seen before. Okay. Another thoughts and prayers, girl, we got to get into. I'm just leaving the gym, and I was on the treadmill, and I was watching the news, and apparently Iran said, girl, we tired of playing with y'all. They released 200 ballistic missiles last night upon Israel, most of which were intercepted by U.S. Navy or whatever, the girls on the ship, the battleships, honey. So shout out to U.S., helping prevent some of that, but there are some casualties. There's a bunch of fucking damage done. This is my thing. I want people to think I'm not really trying to pick a side here. I'm on the side of right. I'm on the side of truth and justice. And from what I know, from what my education tells me, is that Israel has been a very oppressive, very nasty towards people. Okay? When you have a multitude of groups descending upon one, hello God, and there's a continuous fight against, you have to put your thinking caps on and think, why? When you're fighting your oppressors, there's no letting up. Hello. There's no letting up. I think we need to start calling into question, instead of taking Israel's side all the time. I think we need to call into question, what are your crimes against humanity really looking like over there, bitch? What aren't you telling us Your mass genocidal ways haven't gone unnoticed. Trust. But I think I think they're part of NATO, and, we had this agreement with them, and yah. But I think if we're going to continue to uphold that, we need full disclosure. What is Israel really doing late in the midnight hour to these people to make these people fight the way that they are fighting? Okay. Moving on. Girl, did you hear about this longshoremen's strike, honey? 45,000 dock workers, port workers, whatever you want to call them, girl. They said, girl, please, we need higher wages, and we need y'all to stop with this automation machinery, because it's messing up our labor force, child. People need their jobs. We keep depending on, these machines to do everything so we can lay folks off and save more money on the end. Because we all know, I don't care what business you're in, employee labor is always going to be the most expensive thing. They say employee labor and waste, hello God, are the two major contributing factors, hello God, to why these companies be looking for automated shit. I'm here for it. The reality is that the economy will be crippled within a day. I think they said it's going to be $4.5 billion a day. A day. $4.5 billion a day. That's what it's going to cost if the ports stay closed. All I have to say is it doesn't take a union to unify. Hello God. I just wonder, why aren't we doing that on the level of, okay, I respect what they're doing. This has, hey, but again, you have to beg the question, why aren't we doing this on a mass level? The cost of living is not allowing us to live. Y'all keep going up on every single thing. I think this is a prime example. I think UPS did the same thing. I think FedEx is also involved in something like that currently. You got a lot of other, places. I think Amazon, they just went on strike or something like that, girl. Like, I think when we look at it, why don't we do this on the grander scale? All of the airline employees say, girl, please, we're going to stay home. All the banking employees stay home. Hospital employees stay home. Law enforcement, emergency services, stay home. If the ports can cripple the economy within a day, within a couple hours actually, right? Imagine because let's tell the truth, they playing hardball, but y'all are going to succumb to the demands of the longshoremen kids, honey. Let's just tell the truth. I heard stories that, they had been planning for this to happen, so the girls have been stocking up, and that's great. But local businesses, other businesses, small businesses, family businesses, right? Even corporate businesses, at some point you're going to suffer. You're going to feel the sting. Cost of goods are going to go even more through the roof. What are you going to do when you can't access certain things? And I think that's another conversation we have to have about America. We import everything. Everything. Y'all laughed at Hillary and Barack when they wanted things to be made in the USA, right? You laughed at them. You laugh at all of the political figures that come forth and say, we want more things done here. That way we're not so reliant. Hello God, we're not spending our last. Hello God, America don't really got no natural resources like that. We don't really have what we need to supply the demand. Why do you think we're like one of the major importers in the whole fucking world? We heavily rely on other countries and what they got going on to feed our needs. That's something that I really think should be talked about on a national level here. We need to, just in case some shit really happens, what are we really going to do? We're not a self-sustaining country. Everything we do, and that's another thing, you know, y'all be so racist and so discriminative towards other countries and other cultures, but look what we're built on. Look what we rely upon. Y'all love to talk about Mexicans. Y'all love to talk about the Haitians. They out eating the cats and the dogs, girl. You love to talk about the Chinese, the Asian people. You love to talk about the Africans. You love to talk about the Europeans. We talk all this shit, but we rely on them. And I low-key hope and pray that the longshoremen strikes continue on so that people will see exactly what that real truth looks like. Sometimes you have to experience it to appreciate. Hello, God. And sometimes you got to experience it so that you can learn and adjust accordingly. Oh, girl, we can't find this could happen on a major level. So we need to be, girl, that's a big ass iguana. Jesus. Girl, that's big. But yeah, we need to be paying attention. Like, okay, well, now that we see that this is happening, because they said this, something like this hasn't happened since like the 1970s. We weren't here for all that. So maybe it's our turn. We got to experience that to appreciate that. But we also need to experience it so we can learn and adjust accordingly and find a way to be more self-sustaining. So that if the shit does hit the fan and other people say, we don't want to fuck with y'all like that. 4.5 billion daily. Girl. Imagine if this lasts just a week alone. Anyway, drop that in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about all the things, you know, talked about here today. I know I haven't done a video in a little minute. I definitely need to come back and correct the first story, girl, because I just was like, oh wow, I felt so dumb reporting on the what I thought was Ava Combs, girl, and then it be some other girl's story. Ooh, that brought shame to me in my platform. No, ma'am. And you know, just pray for the world, girl. The world is going through a lot right now. We got a lot of stuff happening in the political atmosphere, girl. So many things happening locally. Like, again, all distractions to keep us away from making informed, rational decisions. Yeah. All right, y'all. Take care. Be blessed and never stressed. Remember, the health is truly wealth. And take care. Bye.